but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 21. Dear beloved saints, greetings. Today we will reflect on a passage recorded in the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus has given us precious words. I hope that as we listen to the words of Jesus, this will be a time for you to receive new strength. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. Each person has treasures of their own. A treasure is indeed something precious. Jesus tells us not to store up treasures on earth for ourselves. Then, what does this treasure mean? We must truly understand this. Treasures stored up on earth can be many things: wealth and property, or fame and power. These are treasures laid up on earth. People toil and strive to protect such treasures. But there is something far more important than these. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in or steal. We are told to store up treasures in heaven for ourselves. Friends, can wealth and property be stored up in heaven? Certainly not. Then what does heaven mean? It does not mean the sky above. It means the kingdom of God. And the treasures we can store up in God's kingdom are not wealth, property, fame, or power. Those are earthly things. Some even use this passage to say, give offerings. They claim that giving offerings to the church is storing treasures in heaven. But is this truly what Jesus meant? If we do not know the true meaning, we will simply understand it as giving money. So then, what treasure was Jesus speaking of? My goal is that they may be encouraged in heart and united in love, so that they may have the full riches of complete understanding, in order that they may know the mystery of God, namely Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Colossians chapter 2, verses 2 to 3, it says that treasures are hidden in Jesus, treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Such treasures never perish and can never be stolen. So what is your treasure? For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. If you consider wealth and money to be your treasure, then your heart will be with your wealth and money. If your university or career is your treasure, your heart will be there. If your children are your treasure, your heart will be with them. We must examine where our hearts truly are. If we consider Jesus and the words of wisdom and knowledge he speaks as our treasure, then our hearts will always be there. Such treasures are stored up in heaven. But if we consider something else to be our treasure, it cannot be a treasure that is stored in heaven. In order for the precious words of Jesus to become our treasure, we must truly understand them. This is what it means to store up treasures in heaven. Also, it is not about simply storing up any kind of knowledge. Many people cherish passages from the Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Epistles. While these words may be helpful, they cannot stand above the words of Jesus. Proverbs and Ecclesiastes are collections of wise sayings, like our own cultural proverbs. Their origins are not always clear. The Psalms, often said to be David's songs, are in fact collections of royal hymns. Even the prophetic books of the Old Testament or the words of Revelation are not more precious than the words of Jesus. We must let the words of Jesus take root in our hearts. For that, we must build our spiritual life upon his words. This is storing up treasures in heaven. This is the faith of believing in Jesus. I hope you will understand this fully. That is all I will share for today. May you always be at peace. Thank you.